In the second month of our marriage, my mother-in-law said, "Since you're living in the family house, you should be the one paying all the bills." I smiled and said, "Then I'll move back to the house I bought before we got married." My husband's face went pale. My mother-in-law handed me a bill for a house I didn't own on the 53rd day of my marriage. I paid it, not because I was weak, because I was watching. My name is Elena. I work in financial compliance. My job is finding the gap between what documents say and what they actually mean. I'm very good at it. Norma, my husband Daniel's mother, ran her house like a landlord who'd never heard the word lease. 2 months in, she was already sliding requests across the dinner table like they were completely normal. The utilities are higher with 3 people. I paid. The groceries cost more now. I paid. The gutters need replacing this fall. I paid. Every single request sounded reasonable on its own. That was the trap. When I pulled out my notebook and added it all up, I had paid more into that house than Daniel and Norma combined for a house that wasn't mine. I went to the county recorder's office on my lunch break, pulled the deed, read it slowly, the way I read every document at work, looking for the gap between what it appeared to say and what it actually meant. Daniel Mercer, Norma Mercer, joint owners, no liens, no complications. Not my name, anywhere. I sat in my car for a long time with that paper in my hands. 3 days later, I forgot to stop a voice recording app after a work call. When I played it back that evening, I heard voices from downstairs. Daniel's, Norma's. "If she adds me to her deed," Daniel said, "we can refinance and pull out equity." "Exactly," Norma answered. "Once the property is marital, everything becomes easier. She trusts me." Norma laughed. "Then use that." I listened to those 23 minutes 3 times. Then I called a family law attorney. The next morning, I came downstairs to find Norma at the stove, dragging a spoon slowly across the bottom of her soup pot. That metal scraping sound she'd probably stopped hearing years ago. I had never stopped hearing it. Daniel looked up first. "How much did you hear last night?" "Enough." Norma didn't even flinch. "You're misunderstanding something." That word almost made me laugh out loud. Misunderstanding is what people say when they're caught and flat out refuse to admit it. "Who owns this house?" I asked. Silence. "You want me to keep paying for a property I don't own?" "You're Daniel's wife," Norma said flatly. "And?" "That means contributing to the family." I nodded slowly. "Then I'll contribute to my own house." 1 second of hope crossed Daniel's face, then pure terror. A husband who actually loved his wife would have been proud that she owned a fully paid off home. Daniel looked like I'd pulled the ground straight out from under him. His eyes went immediately to his mother. Hers snapped right back. That half-second exchange told me everything I would ever need to know about this marriage. I went upstairs. My bedroom door was already open. On the bed sat my black suitcase, half-packed, my clothes folded neatly inside, my jewelry tucked into the side pocket. I opened the nightstand drawer. My passport was gone. Daniel appeared in the doorway behind me. "We weren't going to do it right away," he said quietly. "Do what, Daniel?" He stared hard at the floor. "We thought if you moved out for a while, if things felt uncertain enough, you might agree to add your house to both our names before coming back." The room went completely silent. There is no explanation in the world that makes that sentence harmless. I walked past him without a word, left the suitcase where it was. Those clothes had already been touched by their plan. I drove straight to the house that had always been mine alone. The next morning, both of them showed up at my door. I opened it with the security chain still on. "Elena," Daniel said, "please, can we just talk?" "No," Norma pushed forward, chin up. "You are throwing away your entire marriage over a misunderstanding." I smiled at her. "Then let me play you something." I held up my phone and pressed play. Daniel's voice came through the speaker and filled the doorway. "If she adds me to her deed, we can refinance and pull out equity." Then Norma's voice. "Once the property is marital, everything becomes easier." A pause. "She trusts me." Then Norma laughing. "Then use that." The recording ended. Nobody moved. Nobody spoke. Then Norma slowly lifted her chin. "We only wanted security." I nodded. "There it is. Not love, not family, not a real marriage. Security. Mine. The house they had already started spending in their heads before I even knew what was happening." Daniel's voice cracked open. "What do you want from us?" I looked at him. Really looked, maybe for the very last time. "The divorce papers are already being prepared." His face went the color of ash. Norma grabbed his arm like the floor had shifted under her. I started to close the door. "Wait, how are you gonna go without your passport?" Daniel said. Full story on channel. Link below.